Hi, I'm Mark from L&M Small Engine. Today we will be working on a Troy-built Storm 2625 snowblower. As you can tell, it's hardly ever been used. They bought it last winter and we had all that snow around here. And they evidently left the gas in it. And anyways, they put gas in it just like a week or two ago. And gas is just running out of the carburetor. So we're going to tear the carburetor apart and see if we can fix it. So hope you enjoy the video. As you can see, all the gas and everything just leaked all over the top plate of the back of the snowblower. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take this cover off so we can get to the carburetor. Like it's all 10mm bolts. I like to use like a little old cup here to put all my nuts and bolts in there so I don't lose them. This choke lever, that's just like pressed on there. It's plastic, so you kind of got to be careful. But it just pressed on there. And our throttle lever. Whole bunch of bolts on this. Then where the electric plug-in starters, we gotta take that off so this piece here wraps all around it. And we got one bolt back here. All kinds of stuff back here, our gaskets and everything. Take this primer line off. And this mechanism for the choke. And we got another gasket. You can just see it's yellow gas. You know they're using ethanol, and that's a big no-no in small engines, especially when it sits for a while. So let me unhook the clamp for the fuel line. The tank is empty because all the gas ran through it, ran right out the carburetor. There might be a few little drops left in here. Okay, I'll unhook the governor rod, and we got this little spring right here. It should slide right on off. Okay, well, I'm gonna clean the carburetor off and we'll tear it apart. But while I'm doing that, more than likely there's gas in the oil because if it ran out the carburetor, more likely it went into the intake. Let me just smell the dipstick here, and as you can see, it's barely any oil. It's just gas, and you can definitely smell the gas. So while we're working on that, I'm gonna drain the oil. And on these snowblowers, I like to put a 2x4 or 2x2 or something in the front just to raise the front of it up. So the drain plug on the back, it's on the back of the motor, so hopefully everything will drain out of there. And being as I fix this stuff for a living, you don't have to do this. But what I like to do is after I change oil in it, I'll run it for like about, see that's just gas. Oil don't run out like that. But what I like to do, being as I do this for a living, I'll run it for like about 5-10 minutes. Then I'll actually drain the oil again and put fresh oil in there because I don't want to buy a new motor for the customer. Not that I don't want to, I really don't have to, I just don't want to. So that's what I like to do. Okay, well that's a dripping. We'll go ahead and clean up the carburetor. Okay, let's go ahead and take this apart. See how it's all yellow stain in there? And everything's all sticky. So I'm just gonna go ahead and that brass fitting in there where the jet is in there, it's like green. It's all ethanol. So we're just gonna go ahead and use the ultrasonic cleaner and boil this out. But we're gonna go ahead and take this pilot jet out. I'm gonna take this screw out here, your idler screw. You gotta take that out because that's what's holding that pilot jet into place. Just kind of, we took it out, kind of remember how many threads are sticking out the other side, but you can always fine tune it after you get it running. And that's just pressed in there. There's 2 big holes on the side and a little itsy bitsy jet in the center. You just kind of plug one hole with the finger, spray carburetor clear in there, and it should shoot a fine mist out if it's not plugged up. We'll check it here real quick. See that fine mist coming out? So that's not plugged up. We're gonna go ahead and stick this in the carb solution with the cleaner in it, get that all cleaned up. Probably put a new needle in there, needle in the seat. Okay, this guy done cleaning the carburetor. And if you don't have a carburetor cleaning machine, the best thing to do is just get some carburetor cleaner and shoot some gas or shoot some carburetor cleaner through that main jet there, and make sure it sprays up in that venturi there. And like we already cleaned out the pilot jet earlier, you gotta make sure there's a nice stream coming out of there. And on this old float, I don't know if you can see it, but there's kind of like a crack right here. I don't see nothing in it, but we're not gonna take any chances, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a new float in this. Okay, we'll take our bowl, and this drain plug is usually opposite where the fuel inlet goes. That way you can get to it. And we'll go ahead and tighten that nice and snug. Okay, on this pilot jet, there's an O-ring right here. Make sure that O-ring's in good shape. That's what seals it up. Go ahead and press it in there. And let's put that idler screw back in there. So that's what actually holds it down in there. And just turn it to worry about where you thought it was before you took it out. That's pretty close to where it was. So now we can go ahead and put this back on the snowblower. Okay, before I put the carburetor on, I want to blow out this gas tank just to make sure there ain't no debris or no water trapped in there anywhere. Make sure it's nice and clean. So use a rag so gas don't spray. Make sure it's nice and clean. That way we put new gas in there, we know nice clean gas is going in that carburetor. So we'll take our carburetor, make sure that inside gasket's in good shape. Put our governor rod in here. Have it pop into place. Then we'll take our governor spring. Pop it in that little hole right there. And we'll go ahead and put our fuel line on. And our clamp. And we'll put that gasket on our choke assembly. And then we'll put our other gasket on. And now we can install our shrouding and stuff. So when we do that, make sure we put that primer hose on. Then this vent goes on, this vent hose goes in the valve cover. Kind of a lot of stuff we gotta do just to make sure nothing pops off. Okay, I got all the shrouding back on it. I put new oil in it. And like I said, after I get the thing started, I'm gonna let it run like about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and drain the oil one more time just to make sure there's no gas left in it. But all this oil on this cover here is kind of concerning because it could drip on that drive disc in there and make the tires not engage as good. The disc will be slipping. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set Snowblower on its top. I take this bottom plate off and just make sure that drive disc is nice and clean, don't have no oil on it. Okay, I'm gonna take this bottom pan off and just make sure that drive disc is dry. You can see how much gas and stuff is on there. Look at all that. I'm gonna clean that up really good. Well, here's that drive disc. You can see there's a bunch of gas and stuff right on here. I'm gonna put this up here. See, there's oil. There's oil on this plate where this rubber disc, that's what runs your tires. So the best way to clean this is like take carburetor cleaner and use a nice clean cloth. Do a little bit at a time here. And make sure you clean this plate off real good. Get all that. There's oil all over. That way you'll have good traction when you're plowing that snow. Spray a little bit more on here. Let that sit a little bit. I'm gonna clean that bottom pan off and put it back together, and we'll take it off the table and see if this thing runs. Okay, we got off the table. Put a little bit of fuel in here. I use that 91 octane on this kind of, any small ones, I use 91 octane. That's premium around here. Some places have 93% octane, I believe. When I first started up, it might smoke a little bit because it had all that gas in the oil. It might take a little bit to burn all that gas out of the overhead valves and everything. But let's see what happens. There's a primer bulb. Put that on full throttle. Choke. Well, there you go. It runs like new again, all ready to blow that snow. So anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching. If you like the videos, please press the like button and please subscribe. Anyways, have a good afternoon. Bye.